Self-Determination channel.
Welcome to part 3 of our 3-part episode on job coaching. In part 1, we talked about communication and working together. Part 2 covered qualities we look for in a job coach. The link to those videos is below. Today, Cindy and I are talking about fading. Fading is when the job coach backs off
To let the employee do tasks by themselves. When you first get a job, the job coach may be with you during your whole shift to help you learn the tasks. But as you learn the job coach should fade back. So you're doing it by yourself as much as possible. Depending on the employee and the job tasks, the job coach may be able to fade back completely.
We want a job coach that will develop a plan with us and the employer to allow for fading. The job plan should be agreed upon by all of us. The job coach should support us to contact with our boss and coworkers. This way, the coach can fade their support and let coworkers step in to help when we need it.
You want to gain independence. You want to eventually, learn how to do your job yourself. You don't want someone standing there and kind of like hovering over you. So that's why it's important.
And for myself, I think it's very important that I don't just rely on the job coach. She can't do this whole job for me. I need to do it and learn it and be as independent as I can.
It is the clients or the person with the disabilities, telling them when to fade, because if they fade too quickly, sometimes it can be where there's anxiety attacks or any of those kind of things. So just being the driver in the seat, the person with the disability, that's what I would say.
And then another thing, your coworkers is the natural support. They'll tell you what's wrong too, which sometimes is a good thing for us to be told from your coworkers. Like, okay, you're doing this wrong. I've learned that you need to learn from your coworkers.
Like if you're not understanding things, I always ask my boss or someone if they were around and see what people mean by certain things. So I recommend that you go to the coworkers or the boss first before you go to a job coach. Even after the job coach is faded, we may need to get in touch to ask a question or get some advice. It's important that we get contact information to get in touch. The job coach needs to give the person with the disability a real number. So it either is a phone that's in the office or a cell phone number. But they also need to talk appropriate boundaries in communicating. If it's not work hours, it's not right to call someone. But it needs to be a real number, whether it's the office phone or their cell phone number to call if there's an emergency.
Sometimes a job doesn't work out. If we find that the job is not a good fit, a good job coach will support us to move on and try something different.
So if, like, for example, I would not be good at a restaurant because of my sensory issues, because of my coordination, my visual spatial. So if I might drop something on someone's head, a tray or something like that. So I got out of a fast food restaurant and I moved forward and then someone else helped me get into advocacy. And that's where my voice was really heard.
I had a job which we thought it was a good fit, my very first job and the very first time ever working with a job coach. And the job was just not for me. But the job coach was very helpful. And so she said, we'll work with you and we'll get you another job, and which we did. I had another job in a week and a half.
Thanks, Cindy, for sharing your story. That wraps it up for this episode on fading. Be sure to watch our other episodes of job coaching. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye!